most common answer I hear from them is, I'll start tomorrow.
So we feed our subconscious mind with these negative terms. Our subconscious mind grows in the form of our life into exactly what we fed it.
Yeah. When you start using tomorrow for everything, you don't even realize when 20 years or 30 years will zip by, and you'll regret the fact that I could have done so much more which I didn't.
That means I can't become rich because rich
stuck.
is evil and I'm not evil, hence I cannot be rich. And boom, so many times, and I don't know how or where it came about, but this whole concept that people who are rich have done something wrong to get there. Money is the root cause of all evil.
Why are you sounding negative today, Kartik?
That's what's up. Those are the words. I think we're going to talk about how our words describe who we are and
how our language shapes our world.
Our life. And there are so many things that we have picked up over the course of life from our childhood that have got imprinted in our subconscious, that we use these terminologies and stuff. I saw a friend of mine the other day wearing a cap that said, I'm broke. He was out at a nightclub wearing a cap that says, I'm broke.
And people think it doesn't affect their psyche, but it does.
Absolutely.
The language that comes out of their mind.
And that's something that we've been sort of discussing. It came up in conversation that day, and I think we said we need to talk about it because a lot of how our life shapes up is determined by the words we use and about the thoughts we carry through those words. Words are so powerful.
Yeah, and consciously, subconsciously, the language is what we are going to talk about today. And which is the first word that comes to your mind that you see people using most of the time?
I mean, the words that I've been thinking about, like I remember so many times, and I don't know how or where it came about, but this whole concept that people who are rich have done something wrong to get there. Kuch to kaand kiya hai types. And that is something which...
Koi doodh ka dhulawa nahi hai types.
And all of the stuff that basically if someone is driving a fancy car or wearing a fancy watch, matlab they've done something... They've done something shady.
Or they got lucky.
But it's not... Yeah. So, and the problem with that, and let me address that head on. The problem with that thinking or usage of those kind of words is that if I believe that the people who are rich are filthy or evil or have done something wrong, then my conscious, who knows that I'm a good person, will never allow me to become rich. Yeah. So I'm done. I'm screwed. I mean, I can't become rich because rich is evil and I'm not evil. Hence, I cannot be rich.
Yeah.
And boom, I'm done. So I have...
And you get mentally stuck first before you get financially stuck. People think, oh, I'm financially stuck, that's why I'm mentally stuck. No, you're mentally stuck, that's why you're financially stuck.
Correct. So today I think the whole idea is to bring about the awareness that... No, but the point is that the words that we have inscribed in our subconscious, it can be the reason that we are stuck. Right? And I think it's important to bring those out because if we look below them, the idea here is to rip the band-aid off or see what's below that dirty carpet that we've been sitting on our entire life.
And we are going to confront you all. Okay, whoever's listening to this is going to be a confronting conversation, difficult conversation, but it's important you go through it and understand.
No, and I'm sure
these words would be something that you're using too.
And I'm sure I'm using a lot of them a lot of times. And this particular one, the reason I talk about this filthy is because I heard that this could be limiting me for so long that I worked on it. When I say worked on it, I became so super hyper conscious of the fact that I have to change this framework in my own mind, or I have to rewrite those words in my own mind. And becoming conscious of it was the first step, because I remember
becoming conscious of it so that you're mindful about not using it.
Yes, and realizing and rewriting the words, right? That if people who have created maximum value are the ones who are rich. The wealth comes from creating value. I have rewritten this word. So from filthy rich to more value creates more wealth. Simple. So now in my mind, I'm like, okay, how can I add more value? How can I add more value? How can I add more value? And that's what's going to make me wealthy. So now when I look at someone, I'm wondering how many people have they added value to? And I look at this from every vantage point now. So I think of the people who I think are wealthy and successful. So I think of it from sports people point of view, right? Why is Federer so wealthy? Or why is Sachin so wealthy? Or why is Virat so wealthy? Because they have added value to so many people. They've created happiness for millions and billions of people. The more people's lives you can impact, the more money you'll make. So that is my new narrative. Those are the words I use. So I think in my life, how can I add more value to people's lives? Finish.
It's funny you're saying this, Kartik. Every time I talk to someone and anyone someone calls me or stops me, I always say, how can I help? My first answer is, how can I help? And I was inspired by this doctor in a show called New Amsterdam. I don't know if you've ever seen New Amsterdam. There was a doctor called Dr. Max. Dr. Max would meet anybody, patient or nurse, and he said, how can I help?
I think you've told me this
And
before.
it has got stuck with me. And people don't have to beat around the bush. Sometimes people are calling me for a job in the industry, and they're calling me after 10 years or something. I just, because how can I help? And in a way, I'm just saying, adding value, okay, that you can, all of us can do in our own small little way, adding value, and the dividends are huge.
Correct. So that's it. So that is the word that I have worked on the most, or been most conscious of, because that was how I grew up, or that's what I grew up hearing, believing. And a lot of these words that have got imprinted in our minds are words that are, it's not our fault. It's just how we grew up, the stuff we heard. And I know that I grew up in a very middle class family. So a lot of times it was an excuse that our parents used, or my parents used, for not being able to afford something. Right? And it was a very convenient excuse, and we believed it. And believing that held me back for so many years. So I had to consciously change it.
So it's been corrected for you?
Hopefully. Or it's a constant work in progress.
Okay.
But that one in particular, right? Money doesn't grow on trees. That means we feel like money is hard to come by.
And this is what people use when they don't want to spend, or they are cutting down on expense or enjoying life. That's when they say money doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah. When they don't want to, when they feel like they can't afford something, right? And it's true. Money doesn't grow on trees. Technically, if you think about it, it makes so much sense, and it's so believable. It's such a believable phrase. But money is the only unlimited resource on this planet.
It's energy.
Yeah.
I feel it's energy.
Yeah, money is energy, but money, if you think about it, money is the only unlimited resource, right?
Yeah.
You can, as much value as you can create, money can be created.
Yeah.
The printing presses are open 24/7. In the
No,
sense,
but
if you think
okay,
about it.
one is, you say, okay, as much value you create, money can be created. But I also feel that many a times for you to create value, you have to sometimes spend money also. Like.
But to ask, how can I help you, doesn't require any money, right? Or you don't have to spend any money to ask, how can I help you?
No,
And if
it
someone
doesn't.
asks, how can I help, and you can help them, you've created value. And that's adding to your bank. It's adding. Now, you have to plant the seeds first.
Adding to your
and then you
reputation,
can-
your credibility, you know.
Absolutely. As far as health is concerned, there are so many things that people do, and you had a lot of things where the conversation started from, right? What are the words that?
The closest people to me, when I ask them about working out, or I tell them to work out, most of the people around me don't work out, and I guess that's the nature of the beast of working out. And I ask them, why don't you work out? The most common answer I hear from them is, I'll start tomorrow.
I'll start
Tomorrow. And I'm realizing tomorrow is not only for working out. Tomorrow has become for eating healthy. Tomorrow has become for supplementation. Tomorrow has become for sleeping better.
It's for, I'll start investing.
I'll start investing tomorrow. I'll start investing later. What people have to realize is that this tomorrow is a disease. Tomorrow is not a schedule or a plan that you'll put in place into tomorrow. It's a disease purely because when you start using tomorrow for everything, you don't even realize when 20 years or 30 years will zip by, and you'll regret the fact that I could have done so much more which I didn't.
So this is a great one, right? And I was just thinking about where I used to use tomorrow a lot. How can people? What are the cute, quick tips and tricks people can do?
Do something every day. Let's say your money, all right, what are you doing today to save money? Even if you're learning about, let's say, fundamental analysis or technical analysis, you did something today to earn more money tomorrow. So everything, small thing can be done today. If I didn't go to the gym today, all right, I could do push-ups at home, 10 push-ups at home. I could just hang for 60 seconds at home. No problem. I did something. Oh, worst case, I went for a walk today for 20 minutes. You did something. So the easiest skill would be do something daily. Maybe you could take a heavy lift tomorrow. When I say heavy lift, something that's going to take 1-2 hours tomorrow. Do something 5-10 minute quick snack kind of a thing today.
So for me, I'll tell you something that has helped for overcoming this tomorrow. And I'm thinking about this right now is we have an accountability group, right? Just you and me, where we have a group, and you keep putting reel made, book read, workout done. You have this.
So every morning when I finish my reel or publish, I send a message
So
to
for me,
Kartik, it's done.
that is like, oh shit, this is done. Let me
It
also
makes
do
him
something.
very guilty because by the time he's woken up, I've done all this and he's like, oh wow.
I wake up fairly early. I'm up by 6:15. By then, I've already got all these messages from Manish saying this is done, that is done. It's okay. I know we operate on different schedules, which is fine.
Yeah.
It used to. I
I cannot function after 8 p.m. He can.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
But and everyone's got
Yeah.
their own rhythms and stuff. I can't operate in the mornings. That's why I first thing wake up and go to the gym, because that's the only thing I can do in the morning, and I've realized there's no point fighting it.
Yeah.
But I think having this accountability partner, and my wife is my biggest accountability partner. And I don't know, I've shared this story many times, but I used to always say I'll start creating. On our first date, I told her I want to create content. And she kept telling me, when are you going to start? When are you going to start? When are you going to start? And I remember one day before an India-Pakistan match, she took the remote away. World Cup match, 2023, I don't know whether, whatever, but she took the remote away. And she's like, until you post a piece of content, I'm not giving you the remote back. So that prevented me from saying tomorrow. It made me do something today.
It's a blessing to have a partner.
So anyone, it could be, and in different areas of your life, you'll have different accountability partners, right?
Yeah.
Like for my health and a lot, you're my accountability partner. For my finances, I have, Arpit and me are,
For my finances, my partner is my accountability partner.
there you have a wife. You're Sindhi, bro. Your wife is gonna be on top of you for
she's
that.
on top of the money game. I'm spendthrift. She's not. So it saved me a lot of money, I must say.
Amazing. So same here for different. For my wife is a accountability partner for me in so many areas. For so many areas she's not, and she cannot be. But I am for her in those areas. And in some areas, not everyone can be your accountability partner, and they don't want you to be their accountability partner in those areas.
Right.
So it's absolutely fine. But find your accountability partner to avoid tomorrow. Right?
100%.
What are the other things or other words that we use?
The other word that comes to my mind is but. I would love to go to workout, but but it's too far from my house, or I don't have time, or I'm too busy. I want to eat healthy, but I don't have the time to get the food from the grocery store.
I want to make a shameless plug here. Watch the video that we'll put up here where we did about friction. We spoke about how to reduce friction, reduce excuses, and reduce but. Anyway, Manish, carry on.
So, but this is like saying I love you, but I don't like this about you. I don't like this about you. The moment you say but after I love you, that I love you has no meaning. So, same way if you say I want to be healthy, but you don't want to be healthy.
So how can people, and I'm sure everybody can relate to this. I think we all do it consciously, subconsciously. I don't even know if, I'm sure I use it. I'm sure I say but, and I don't even know where
I was telling you this also, Kartik, recently, that sometimes you have to be an unreasonable person to get things done. You remember we were talking about being unreasonable. A lot of us are unreasonable, so there's a reason for not getting it done. That's why you use the but liberally.
Wow, okay.
But if you are unreasonable, you won't use but as much as we normally do.
So be unreasonable with yourself.
Be unreasonable with yourself so that you reach the goals you aspire for. And most people won't reach their goal because they're reasonable. There's a reason for them not to do this, not to do this. Wow. So many people drop off their workout routine.
Unreasonable, as it's been talking about words, the word unreasonable sounds like a negative word. No one wants to be unreasonable. But it's so interesting, right? People don't want to be, we don't want to be unreasonable people.
Yeah. But you have to be unreasonable with the process you put in place to reach your goals. Okay. Now, if you and I are working in a company together and there's a project to be done and the project cannot be done in 3 days, and you tell me, Manish, I want it today evening, then you're being unreasonable because you're not cognizant of reality. You're not being practical by saying that. And sometimes that's what happens. People expect the moon out of you, which is being unreasonable. I'm saying unreasonable from a different context. I'm saying you got to become a person who doesn't give reasons.
No excuses.
But, just stop saying but. I love you, but. Stop saying but. Say I love you, stop. That's it. So that's another word that comes to mind. Your turn, yeah? What is the word that's playing on your mind?
I think, so again, it's words, right? And I hear this a lot. People throw this around very casually that, oh, I'm so bad with money. Oh, I'm so bad with my money. And on the face of it, it seems so harmless. But what are we reinforcing? We're reinforcing the same belief about ourselves. And it's funny, I was in a room the other day and there were 5 or 6 people, and the person was asking, it was in a podcast studio, and there was the person who was doing the podcast with me. There were 2 people who were just sitting and watching. There was the cameraman and there was like the lights guy, and all bright young people between the age of 30 and 40 is my guess, or 25 and 40. And we were talking about, they were asking me questions about SIP and investments and basic stuff. And I said SIP, they said, oh, what is an SIP? So in my mind, I was like, oh, damn, but I explained it. Then they said, oh, but what's an ETF? I said, oh, it's like a mutual fund. Oh, so what's a mutual fund? So literally in the middle of the podcast, I asked, I'm like, guys, y'all know what? And like, no, I'm extremely bad with money. Oh, I don't know what it is. And everyone kept saying, oh, I'm extremely bad with money. I'm extremely bad with investing. I think we keep using a lot of these phrases that are counterproductive to our own lives.
Yeah. Because then you don't take ownership of becoming good with money, which is why you'll do a mistake of following someone blindly with money and lose the money.
Right. And there's this book, one of the greatest books written, I think, by Walsh, I forgot his name, but The Power of the Subconscious Mind. And subconsciously, what we are feeding our mind is what it will grow into. So we feed our subconscious mind with these negative terms. Our subconscious mind grows in the form of our life into exactly what we fed it.
Yeah.
We are a function of what we eat, what we read, and what we say, and what we think.
And I'm bad with money could just be reframed saying, I want to learn about money. I want to learn. I want to learn about let's say luggery that we are doing. Kartik and I have started doing luggery, and I can say I'm bad with luggery because we both suck at it.
Yeah.
But we want to do luggery. We want to get better at luggery.
Yeah.
It's just another way of framing it instead of me saying I'm bad with luggery and giving up on the classes.
So I think this is something which is, again, the point of this is just to bring it to
Just be
one's
conscious
awareness.
of the words.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Be conscious of the words that we're using. Something like, I can't afford it. Right? And I mean, I've read this in so many books now that they say, instead of saying, I can't afford it, the minute you catch yourself saying this, flip that into, what can I do to afford it?
This is what, Edmund Hillary would also say when he was scaling Mount Everest, all right? He would look at Mount Everest and say, I will come back. So when he couldn't scale, all right, he would say, I will come back. He's not saying, I'm...
Oh, you're too big for me.
Oh, you're too big for me. I will come back.
Yeah.
I will come back. I will come back. Just reframing of the whole thing. So today, if you can't afford something, you don't have to keep saying it again and again and again. Just say, I'll come back. I'll come back.
And it's funny,
And Kartik, just to extend one thing, and I think you also done it. There were days when I had no money. In spite of that, I would have gone into Rolex showroom, Omega showroom, tried the watch like as if I was a millionaire. They wouldn't even get to know I was broke. But there was no tax on trying a watch. Yeah, absolutely. I will come back. But till then, let me just feel it for 2 seconds before it's on my hand. Today I have a sexy watch on my hand. I own it. But there was a time I couldn't own it. But I tried this watch years back.
Wow.
I told you this also. Yeah. Years back. All right. I bought it later and all. But I never said I can't afford it. That time I couldn't afford it, but I didn't say it.
Yeah, so I've done this a lot. I mean,
you've done it more than me,
I've done it a lot, and I'm just thinking about it, and I do it even today. And it's great because I'm going, and we should actually use this and call each other out. And I give you full permission to do it. Whenever you see me saying something that is counterproductive to my growth, feel free to call me out on it, because half the time we don't even realize. So make sure you share this with people who are close to you. So you can grow, right? I think the idea is that if the minute you have people in your circle or around you who can call you out on it, it's better for you.
And sometimes they don't want to assume that you'll be okay with it. So tell your best friends or people who will hold you to account that you have all the liberty to hold me to account if I'm using words which are disempowering.
Yeah.
Make sure you have someone who holds you to account for using empowering words.
But I'll tell you something, when you're with your spouse or your partner, it'll be great if you can have your partner do this with you. But when you're in a fight, don't do this, right? I'm just...
No, me and my wife, if there's a fight, we have an agreement, we will just talk only when you've cooled down.
Yeah, no, I'm saying don't try and play these games when you're having a fight. You'll only exacerbate the fight. So do it when both are in calm, because I notice this happens a lot, right? You watch a video together and then you say, oh, we'll implement this. And then when you're fighting, you try and implement that and all hell breaks through. So don't do that. It could be counterproductive to your
But it's amazing to have someone who will hold you to account, for sure.
Yeah.
So, Usha does that pretty well. If I'm saying something negative, she'll say, don't say... Like it's good to have someone who's holding it to account.
And also, I think it's important to become a person who is open to receiving feedback.
You have to be coachable. Because we were not taught language. We were taught... geography, history, and we were not taught language, empowering language. We were not taught language which is effective. We were not taught language which moves the needle or moves people, which is why it's important to be coachable. Yeah?
And all, this Chicken Soup for the Soul, I forget who the authors are, I'm sure you remember. Tony Robbins, all Napoleon Hill, all these guys who've written these, timeless self-help and self-improvement books, they all speak about how the power of the words that you use
Your
will
word.
shape your life.
100%.
So I think it's so important to be conscious of the words we use. And when I think we are we have to catch ourselves, but also surround ourselves with people who can catch us and, nicely point it out to us without damaging our ego.
Which is why I keep reading Kartik autobiographies, purely because the language they use, okay, the self-awareness they had and the mistakes that it just keeps me in check with my own mistakes. Just again a plug-in for reading, because I will not miss a chance for reading. That's why I read about successful people, purely because in their autobiographies, they do talk about the language they use, which was disempowering, which screwed them somehow, or they lost something or did a big mistake. And the stuff that they landed becoming successful with was again because of empowering language use.
So Mani, if we can leave people with a book that they can read, if we can put an audible link or whatever, which book would you suggest that people read to start working on this? One book.
I mean, at this point in time, read Alibaba's book, The House That Jack Built. It is phenomenal. He would tell his people, all right, tomorrow is going to be bad. Day after is going to be even worse. But the day after will be sunrise.
Will be beautiful.
Will be beautiful.
Yeah.
It stuck with me. So if you ask me from that book, so many things about Jack Ma which are beautiful in that book. But that one statement stuck with me. Tomorrow is bad. Day after is going to be even worse. And then it's going to be beautiful. And that's why all his people are billionaires. Huh? Everybody Jack Ma built Alibaba with are billionaires. But it took a man to speak a language that would keep people together in spite of going through tough times. And you need to become that kind of a person for yourself, for your family.
Great. We'll put the link for that book in the description below.
Absolutely.
And words are all we have to take your heart away. We'll see you again.
See you soon, guys.